All right, I think we're live. There is a lot going on in here today. Thank anybody that can come on in here. We are broadcasting everywhere. If you're catching this on Facebook, catching it on YouTube, catching it on the Shorts feed, catching it on X, we just everywhere today. We'll see how it works out. My computer's not going to be happy, but hey, we're going to try it out. So special shouts to especially my lovely lady Zora that jumped into the chat early for me to make sure that she could see and hear. So give me just a second here, make sure everything is where it needs to be. If you just joining in, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the stream, share the stream. Let's have a conversation, okay? Hold on a second. How's my sound in the chat there? Well, I mean, not my sound in the chat. My sound on the video to the people in the chat. You know what I'm saying. Just give me a second here. Let me log into this thing here. Interesting. Okay. All right. Looks like we're up. Two-step verification. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Gotta tell the system it's okay to let me do what I'm doing. It's going wild right now. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right, it says we're on. So, anybody that's just coming on in here, I just want to let y'all know I'm trying something absolutely new today. So you guys are witness, and you guys are going to be helping me out with this wonderful purge of the BS today. This is for the subscribers, everybody that's been jumping in, making this conversation worth having. We're just folks, we're just living here. We all just live here. So why not have a conversation about our conditions, right? So nonetheless. Okay, it looks like we're up. We're up on a couple of streams here. Let's see what we got here. I don't know what this is doing. All right, it's as good as it's going to get at this point. I don't know what the heck is going on here. All right, I'm going to apologize to y'all right now. If I cannot keep up with the chat, it's because I got 4 chats on different windows. And so I apologize right off the top. But thank you for coming on in here today to hang out with me and purge a little BS just before the week gets, oh, jeez. Hold on, let me make sure this one's done. Hold up. It's asking me to do some more stuff. Like I said, I'm trying something different today, so we're gonna see how this is. Okay. All right. Back to the folks. Okay. Woo! So I don't know if it sent out notifications. I don't know what happened. I just started plugging in stuff and seeing what comes out. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So I might be on Facebook, I might be on X, but wherever you're coming from, you're in the right place to purge the BS, okay? So I'm going to bring in my docket for the day, okay? Anybody that comes in here later, you'll catch up. We got a few things to cover, okay? Got a couple of things to cover here, so let's go back in this direction. And let's see what we got. All right, well, this one I wasn't expecting to come up first, but this is what came up first. So I'm just going to have to show y'all what it is. Hold on a second. All right, look. guys. This is I remember this dude's name from somewhere. He's very cringe, but he popped up in a gender reveal. He's revealing his gender. He wants to give you guys his opinion on how and when you should do a gender reveal for a child. So let's go ahead and check this out together.
It's a girl, or I'm a girl. Now, this is actually my second gender reveal, because the first time my parents told the world that I was a boy, which is incorrect, but I do not hold it against them, because how could they have known I was gonna be trans? But it's a good reminder that the parts you see on an ultrasound don't determine a baby's gender. And how is that possible? Well, think about it like this marker. A blue cap usually means a blue marker, but sometimes marker caps get switched, and in this case, it is a pink marker.
But it was never a blue marker.
They saw something on the ultrasound that usually means it's a boy, but the cap was cap. And I
sounds like cap. Sounds a lot like cap.
Should we stop doing gender reveals? Of course not. Gender reveals are a great way to celebrate the birth of a child. What I'm suggesting is instead of doing it before the kid is born, do it after they're born. This way, the kid can proudly tell the world that they're a boy or a girl or non-binary. Yay!
I don't like this.
Since the kid is involved, they get to take ownership over the whole process. They can cut a cake or smash a piñata or do whatever creative spin they want on it. It's like a rite of passage that every kid looks forward to. And instead of parents speaking on behalf of their kid, the kid gets to speak for themselves.
Okay. Now, I'm all for good ideas, right? I'm all for a good idea. I have no problem with a good idea. I think great ideas should be passed along and we should utilize them. But I don't think waiting until a child is older to do a gender reveal is how we move forward in humanity. Now, I don't know what's up with this dude. I really don't. I don't. But this came down the timeline and I was like, I need to share this with folks because I need to understand, like, if this is really supposed to be a good idea. Am I missing something? I don't get it. But it's like, that's obviously a male. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, that's you put a cap on it, you know, and it's still a male. Like,
usually means it's a boy, but the cap was cap. And
yeah, the cap was cap. Yeah, you're capping. You're seriously capping. This is ridiculous, man. And now we're supposed to... Anyway. Well,
I turned out to be a girl.
No,
so
you
should
didn't.
we stop
No, you didn't.
doing gender reveals?
I don't think we should do any of that.
Gender reveals are a great way to celebrate the birth of a child. What I'm suggesting
just
is
making sure y'all getting the point.
Before the kid is born, do it after they're born. This
do it
way,
after
the
they're
kid
born.
can proudly tell the world that they're a boy or a girl or non-binary. Yay! And since the kid is involved, they get to take ownership over the whole.
This dude's voice is deeper than mine. So you're not a girl. Like, I mean, I'm not, look, we're going to try to keep it politically correct, but I'm just saying, I don't like the analogy of the cap on top of, you know, you think it's something, but it's something else. But yeah, if it's something else, it's always been something else. So we're just going to let it be what it is. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, doing gender reveals when the kid is old enough to decide what gender they are. That's crazy talk right there. That is absolute crazy talk. That's crazy talk. And I'm supposed to be like, hey, yeah, that's a great idea. That's awesome. Let's implement that.
Process. They can cut a cake or smash a piñata or do whatever.
Smash a piñata. Okay.
It's like a rite of passage that every kid looks forward to. And instead of parents speaking on behalf of their kid, the kid gets to speak for themselves.
Okay. I'm going to bring this back to the center here. I know it's a very slippery slope here on YouTube. And it's because there's people out there that live in a world that's different than mine. The one that I live in is this place called reality. And sometimes that reality place can be, you know, it can be abrasive. Because the truth is, life is not fair. Especially when you don't have the resources to make yourself happy. Like, you don't have the things you need. Like, life can be very, very rough. But all that being said, I do not believe that if we choose to wait till the child is 7, 8 years old to do a gender reveal, that is helping society going forward. Kids already have enough confusing ideas in their heads in single digits that we got to say, all right, Jimmy, it's your 8th birthday. Why don't you decide what you are? Like, what kind of sense does that make? I don't know. Man, sometimes I get carried away. It happens. Hold on a second. Let me double check my screams here. My screams. Okay. We'll stay over here. But there is a lot going on. I'm trying to tell y'all, my screen is jumping right now. So I'm hoping y'all can hear me. I hope the sound is good. Please let me know if you can't hear me. Please let me know if you can't see something that I'm describing or talking about. And I apologize for my eyeball. I got a little hair from my dog in there. It's weird. Don't worry about it. Give it 24 hours. It'll be fine. But anyway, for those that were worried, anyway, they don't care. They don't care. Make sure you're hitting the like. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe. I'm going to give them about 2 more minutes here. I'm cranking out a broadcast today. And we are cranking it out. So for those that missed the previous story, you'll have to rewind it. But basically the idea is to do gender reveals when the child is old enough to make a choice as to what gender they actually are. So you can take that up with that dude. I forgot what his name is, but it's up to y'all how you want to deal with that. I'm just putting out the information. I'm just saying that's the idea, and you guys can make the decision as to whether or not you want to run with that idea. That's totally up to you. Totally up to you, okay? So here we are. We're in a purge of the BS, and we're literally waiting to see if the broadcast glitches out. I don't know. You might be on Facebook. Hello on Facebook. You might be on X. Hello on X. You might be on YouTube. Hello on YouTube. Everybody on YouTube. Thank you for joining in. Appreciate y'all. I really do. Now, I'm doing my intro stories. I'm going to get to Jasmine Crockett and all of that. That was kind of funny, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. I got Joe Biden with his farewell speech. We'll talk about that in a minute. I got to get these things out the way. But as far as letting you know about it. But at the same time, there was this story that came up. I don't really watch those, a lot of those like shows with the, like the, what is that? Like the pop the balloon shows, or I'm not really big into Fresh and Fit. And it's probably because I'm just older. So, looking at younger women argue with these dudes is, it just blows my mind how patient they can be in a lot of those situations. I'm not that patient. I would just leave or have someone leave. That's how I am. So when I do catch a glimpse of, some of these folks doing their thing, it's actually pretty funny to me. And I caught this show or this channel called The Saint. And I had seen a couple of his little pieces before, but special shouts to him. He does a few different panels with the ladies. I couldn't do it. I'm just saying I couldn't do it. I just don't have the patience for it. But there's a woman in this one particular clip, and she comes in and she says that basically the world would be better without men. And I just, I don't agree with that. I think that there's a balance that men and women have, and we're supposed to be working together. That whole thing. I'm kind of traditional in that regard. So when I hear somebody say that they don't need the opposite sex for anything, like I'm not going to say we don't need women for anything. That doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. You're cutting yourself off from a very good portion of some of the things that you want to do in life. If you just don't want women around and doing it, it gets ugly. Okay? So I'm going to bring over this clip for you. Hold on a second. I got you. All right. So we got the guy on, I guess, your left. Yeah, your left this is Marquette. And he does a lot of red pill stuff. So if you're into that kind of stuff, go ahead and check his channel out. He's got some pretty good content on there if you like to see people argue with the young ladies about morals and stuff like that. You go ahead and you can check them out. But I want to play this clip because this is Purge of the BS. And I heard this woman say some things, and I was like, you know what? That sounds a lot like BS to me. So let me bring it to the channel. And I also want you to kind of see how this dude handles the situation, in the fact that he's actually pretty calm. He's not really like being profane or disrespectful. So let's just check it out. It's conflict resolution 101.
Only that, my thing is that I will say there may be a little bit of hatred. Like I said, I just got a relationship, so I am not afraid to admit to anything. But my thing is, I feel like things will be better off with women just being in charge, because a lot of men
charge of what?
Just in charge of everything. We're doing everything because men seriously think that
What?
they're just like this person they need to be worshipped, but they don't have
What
it.
is
They're
in
like,
that cup?
Tequila, baby. What you think?
Alcohol. Here we go.
There's some goddamn Molly in that cup. She said the world would be better if women were in charge of everything. Let me tell you a few facts about women. Number one,
she didn't want to hear that.
I'm done. I'm done.
Yep, right there.
Facts about women.
I'm done.
No, let me help you out. Absolutely. Let me just share a few facts real quick. We're going in turn. I already stated that. Would you go turn?
You wouldn't be here without a woman. So what are we talking about?
You came out of a vagina.
What are we
ladies, hold on. Don't talk over each other, because it doesn't make for good radio. So I just want y'all, like, if y'all gonna say something, at least like let each other say it.
Yeah, and I told them that.
First of all, I'm the mediator. I was trying to mediate. Y'all don't be acting like that like me. All right.
He's like, leave me out of this.
Okay. Y'all don't be trying to pin me against him. Okay.
Mark,
we both got a different flow. We got a different flow.
Yeah. The super chat.
He on demon time. That's the only thing. He's just on demon time.
Master
right
troll
now.
mode. She asked for it. Talk to me.
So, like,
all right,
you know, you say that, man has started everything. So if we're talking,
I didn't say everything.
well,
just all
you
the
basically did. You cut it out. But if we're talking science, there's different multiverses. What if there's a multiverse where women made everything, where women did everything, and I'm just saying.
She said
what?
Is she talking about another dimension?
Well, there's different multiverses. This is a legit thing. Like, society has made it seem like that. It's just males.
Hold on a second now. Look, folks, if you're ever in an argument about, I guess, principles, human principles, it's not always a good idea to bring up the multiverse, okay? Like, now granted, you can have a hypothetical. You can be hypothetical about it, right? But it's not an argument. It's not like a point you can make in an argument. Well, in a different universe and dimension, then blah, blah, blah. Anything you start with different universe and dimension means that don't really happen. That's not that world that we live in. And well, at least the one that I live in. And I told you, it's a little place called reality. And, you know what I'm saying? Just being honest. I think you really should think about parenting when you see these kind of things. When you see people say some weird stuff, you always wonder, who raised you? Because that's the question. Who's creating this? Who's created you and built this around you? And now you think some wild stuff, like every time somebody's making a point, you say, well, in a different multiverse. Whoa. I don't know what's in. The other girl had tequila in the cup. I don't know what's in her cup. I don't know. Let's see what else it got to say.
That are the more dominant.
We in this universe.
But have you
There
ever
you go.
heard that?
It's called reality.
Smarter, not harder. There's a lot of people that are built.
She went to a whole.
Shouts to the bloggers, Purge show in the chat over there.
Dimension to beat me in an argument. Holy smokes! Oh, that's
the best thing to do.
Shout out to Moon. He writes. She didn't. He writes, "Why sisters so combative?" And when he says sisters, I'm assuming he's talking about you. He's talking about you right there. So, question is, wait, than me?
Oh, she pulled the money card. Here we go.
I'm talking to him. That's why I said.
Wait, real quick, can we talk about that part?
I was like, damn.
Make me listen to you.
Uh-oh.
Other than just sisters, I think this is really just a thing with women.
Why
is it when women make money that they
go
become
crazy.
Combative, though? Like,
Is that true? Do women get combative when they have money?
Corrupt the corrupt the person
so much
that
I'm gonna tell you the.
That's what he's saying.
So this, I honestly, but not even I believe, it's just my freaking opinion from not making any money to killing it. My thing is that I realize that I don't need you. I realized that I don't need you to be around because
Here we go.
I don't have a need or a use for you.
So let me get this right. Money is your relationship.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's raised.
But let me say
Okay.
this. If
So
money
a
is
man being a provider is
No, but you're not talking about a provider.
That's
You're
what
talking
I'm
about
talking
an
about.
economic source. You
Yeah, we're
see, a
saying-
provider, that's a general term because you provide more than just the income. You provide the
So,
guidance, you provide the
the way-
structure and discipline. You heard me? You provide emotional support, but you keep talking about finances. And that lets me know you came from a situation where it was either a single parent household or the father was not there and
My
he was
parents are married.
reduced. Or he was reduced to just being a financial source, because right now, when you tell me that women are better than men and you show a lack of respect for men, that lets me know your father's not revered in your eyes. Because here's the thing, I don't sit here and talk bad about women because I absolutely love my mother. She calls me all the time. We have a great relationship. So I'm not going to dog women out, and I'm not going to dog black women out. And that's why over the time I've been on this platform, you've never heard me do that in one video. I don't dog women. I don't dog black women because I was raised by a great black woman. But you're sitting here dogging out men, talking about, well, if you don't provide money, I got a vibrator. What do I need you for? That's a goddamn shame, because that lets me know that you don't see males as human beings. And that's a very low level. And if on the other side, I expressed that I didn't see females as human beings, there'd be a big uproar. And that's what I'm just asking you, is to show the same energy, show the same consideration you would expect from a male.
All right. Well, I don't know. We'll discuss that real quick. Hold on just a moment here. Hold on just a moment. I had to get some water. I'm sorry, guys. And no, Core is not
I'm going to
paying.
say how, Sway, and I'll bet my
Core is
whole
not
life.
paying
In fact,
for
I'll bet every
that promotion right there. Core is not paying for it. So, but you can tell them to holler at me if you know somebody. So nonetheless. But bring it in here. So for those of y'all that saw the clip, I'm gonna keep it simple, okay? I'm not gonna go into anything about appearance or anything like that. Just want people to understand it on this show and on this channel. We purge the BS, okay? So if something is some BS, we gotta expose it, and then we purge it. We gotta get rid of it, right? There is no foreseeable future in humanity where men and women do not work together and make things happen. Okay? So let's just stop with all of the we don't need men, we don't need women. We got to find somewhere in the middle, right? Because that's how our entire humanity was created, by people coming together, creating more people, teaching things to the next generation, giving new talents to the next generation, passing on wealth to the next generation. And those things don't happen when men and women don't get along. I'm sorry, it just is what it is. If we don't deal with that problem, and it's not, I don't want y'all to come in here and think I'm blaming women, because there's some dudes out here that are like, they're not really worth much anyway, but because they have, the ability to talk well, they get up in some draws and somebody has a baby and they recreate a bunch of ignorance sometimes. It happens. But that doesn't mean it has to happen, but it does happen. So I'm not putting it directly on either sex. That's what the whole point is that we all live here. We all have a particular mandate to not put no BS out into the next generation. That's literally like, I mean, if it wasn't in the Bible, it's in there somewhere. Don't put on and push on curses, generational curses, negative, like, foundations, like negative traditions. You can't push that stuff on, right? So if this young lady feels that she lives in a world where men are absolutely not needed at all, is what she said. And most people will say without the purposes of procreation, which, minimizes a guy to just a sperm donor at that point. So that's not really respectful. So that would be the same as if guys were like, yeah, we don't need women for nothing but sex. And that would just diminish women to just a warm hole to put something in. So that's disrespectful on either side, okay? So we're not even going to try that goofiness. That's just dumb. But to think that you don't need anybody at all for any reason other than people of basically the same sex as you. And in today's world, there would still be some dudes on that side. Like if you separated the women and men, there'd still be some men showing up on the women's side and a couple of women showing up on the men's side. That's what the first clip was about. So you never really know where people are going to end up. But in a general sense, if you really did not have the opposite sex, I mean, where are we going with that? That's stupid. That's really dumb. And I'm one of the people that tells you, if you look at a lot of the folks that do some of these crazy crimes and mass shootings and stuff, a lot of them didn't have interactions with the opposite sex. Just saying, I'm not trying to say, anything specific. Sometimes somebody might have to take one for the team to keep these folks calm, because people be wilding out when they get a lot of pent-up energy and anger in them, and that's what happens. I'm just being honest. Sorry if that offends anybody. Okay? But that's the BS. It must be purged. We cannot be running around out here like we don't need other people. We all live here. Like, just think about that. Imagine that this is one big-ass house, and we all got rooms we done rented in this house. And sometimes you got annoying neighbors that make a lot of noise. If you've ever lived in an apartment, right, and you got like somebody on the top and you got somebody under you, you got to be, kind of conscious and considerate of the fact that we all live in this building, right? So we need to do the same thing with the earth as a whole. We all live here, okay? They were talking about a ceasefire in Israel, or not Israel, but Palestine. As soon as Joe Biden came out and announced it, an hour later, they were shooting again. And that's right. Sometimes you just need to relieve some stress. That's why I come on the internet to purge the BS. Is to relieve some stress. Not that I'm going wild out and do any of the stuff I was just talking about. That's some crazy stuff. Them boys crazy. But I'm just saying, you can't be all stressed out, pent up stress and anger. You don't know where to put it and what to do with it. And sometimes just having a good companion, somebody around you to love on you a little bit and rub your shoulders maybe a little bit, it calms you down. I'm just saying. All right? I know it sounds cold, but I think a lot of these things would be avoided if these folks were in relationships. Like, just being. So anyway, let me see what we got going on here. I'm about to bring y'all to my next clip. There's a bunch of Wildcats. It was supposed to be Wildcats today. So the Wildcats, that's why we got Jasmine Crockett coming up. We got the Nancy Mace thing. It's a bunch of Wildcats going on today. So somebody sent me this it's just absolutely just ridiculous clip here. Let me show this to y'all. Hold on one second. So, apparently this is a fries and burger joint in New York City where these young ladies, during their patronage of this business, came to find out that the extra sauce for the fries, which must be really good, costs $1.75 a cup. So let's watch what happens as a result of that claim. God, that's annoying. Hold on, I gotta turn that sound down. That's ridiculous. All right, about there. Y'all can hear it, right? All right, so I can't believe this is only over sauce, but whatever it's over, nobody's in there. First of all, the person that's recording is obviously the person that works there, not doing nothing. Nobody outside is doing nothing. Nobody's doing nothing. What's wrong with folks? They just letting this go on? Oh, they cheering it on. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Oh, she's twerking. Oh, nice, respectable young lady. Mm-hmm. Can't get your little chunky self back over the counter, can you? You got to think about it. Okay, let me go backwards. Slide. Oh, she's still going. I thought it was over with. Okay. All right. Hold on. I got to pause it just for 1 second, just so to make sure y'all see what I'm seeing. All right. There's a wide open door in the background. And it looks like there's maybe a party or a festival or something going on. There's a lot of people here. And all of them just got their phones. Everybody, a whole row of people with their phones out. That's all you see. And the person whose business this is, who's obviously behind the counter, is filming it. Why are you not stopping them from coming across your counter? Because I'm going to tell you what, you come across my counter in my business, it might be a problem. It just saying, I'm not going to hurt you, but I'm going to make sure you don't make it across the counter. If that makes sense. Okay, hold on. I'm going to bring it back just a little bit so you can see all these goofies with their phone out. Well, I mean, once the girl started twerking, you knew the phones were going to be out. Look at this ridiculousness. Just ridiculousness. Over some French fry sauce. Come get your kids, man. They probably got kids at home. They're acting like grown-ups. This is how grown-ups handle stuff, you know? Look at it. They can't get back over the counter. You might have to go work on that, ladies. All right, that's problematic, yo. Why is everybody, guys, I know there's good Samaritan laws and all of that, but why is everybody just standing around these days? Nobody be trying to stop nothing. It's obvious these girls ain't got no guns on them with them tight-ass dresses on. They only armed with attitude right now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-mm. 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 Okay. And they're clapping. All right, guys. All right, guys. Oh, they're still going. I thought it was over with for the second time. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. Hold on now. At this point, right about here, there's another person that came back behind that register. That's definitely trespassing. They need to... I'm not saying they need to hurt nobody. I'm just saying they need to defend their property in the best way they know how and hold the people accountable that don't know how to act. That's all I'm saying. I believe that's the proper way to say it. Because if you say somebody needs their ass whooped, that's a problem. But I would be remiss to not think that that would be appropriate in this situation. And nobody is doing it. Like, she's coming back there like it's cool. And then throwing stuff at the... Come on, man. Oh, and she fell. And that's what you get. That's what the hell you get. Well, at least there was a little karma at the end. A little bit. It was a little karma at the end. But guys, once again, here comes that BS. And this is what we're dealing with out here, right? So for the next generation, I don't know how they're going to deal with this. I don't. And I'm worried about it. I'm worried about it because nobody moved to do anything. Like, why not? Nobody's going to. I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all can tell me in the chat. I don't know. Is this acceptable behavior now? That was the turn up. You know, they're going to be talking about it, laughing about it the next day. Yeah, remember what we did down in New York City? Come on, man. I don't know, kind of lets me down, man, because they look like they, you know, it's a fuzzy picture, but they're probably attractive ladies. You know? Just down there wilding out. Wildcatting out. Just a bunch of wildcats down there, man. I'm sorry, I got to digest that. That was just a lot to look at because there were so many people that I wanted to yell at in the frames, and I'm not able to get to any of them. I'm not able to yell at them, and that's stressful for me. I like to be able to get that out. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, don't just stand there. I guess this is the time we in. You just stand there, film it, and then go viral, and then there you go. You stand there, you film it, you go viral, and there you go. Okay. All right, we got keyframes. I'm getting all types of notifications on my thing over here about keyframes. So I hope this thing is not glitching. I have not been able to see the chat correctly here. But if you're in here, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe. Make sure you're doing that, because I'm bringing this stuff to you because I'm about to get to my main story, because I know the daggone notifications don't go out for like 15, 20 minutes. It takes forever for people to end up on here. But once they're here, I'm glad to see you. You know what I'm saying? So, give me just a second here. Oh, thanks for the new subscribe over there, Adriano Gomez or Gomes. I don't know. Public school education. So it could be Gomes, could be Gomez. I don't know. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. It's not personal. It's not personal. So I'm going to give it another 30 seconds. Make sure the likes are at least matching who's in here. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you don't know what a like button is, if you're on the mobile feed, the vertical, it's on this side. Well, actually, like right here for y'all. About up there, there's 3 dots. You hit that, you'll see the little thumb thing come up. Go ahead and put the thumb on the thumb, and that way I see the thumb. All right? Let's get the thumb done. Please. Now, I know it's one of those situations where we like good TV. I do. I like entertainment. I like things that entertain. I like things that are funny, like action movies, like certain horror movies. And recently, I've got a guilty pleasure. I've been watching congressional hearings because, from what I'm seeing, it's a mixture of comedy, tragedy, like scandal. It's like this. It's everything you want. You know, it should be its own reality show, which it is if you really think about it. If you tune in, it's like its own reality show. If you watch this congressional hearings, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, this exchange between Jasmine Crockett and Nancy Mace is going viral. It's going viral at this point, and I get why, because she hit her with some Cash Me Outside type of stuff. So I'm going to let you guys see some congressional stuff. We're going to go into some congressional stuff, because I know I couldn't be in the room when all of this is going on. I would be in the back making noise. I'm a little bit ignorant in situations like that. When I see comedy, I gotta laugh at it. So I'm not quiet. My laugh is not a little quiet laugh. So if you put me in the room with some legislators and I see some goofy shit, I'm telling you right now, I would be the one in the back. You know what I'm saying? Smacking the chair and stuff. That's me. So let me bring this on over here for y'all. Bring this on up. Oh, let's go back here. Hi. Look at I call her the bad luck. Why is this 11 minutes long? Did they argue for 11 minutes? I thought it was like 50 seconds. Oh boy. Okay. All right, guys, let's strap in here. I didn't know that the clip was this long. We're going to see how far I can make it, because when people start to bore me, I get angry. And when I get angry, I got to cut it off, because, you know, I don't want to rage quit on the congressional hearing. So let's see what we got here. Oh, she does have it. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Just a little bit.
I don't even know how we got there, because I tried to make it clear how many civil rights, it doesn't just boil down to one conversation, but I can see that somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, so that people will feel threatened and child. Listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do
not.
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out.
I'm a grown
Hold up. We got a subscriber at the same time. I got to bring it back. So you can see the setup. She's just talking She's just talking Ebonics, in my opinion. But
I don't even know how
it's funny
we
though.
got there because I tried to make it clear how many civil rights. It doesn't just boil down to one conversation, but I can see that somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do
not
call me a child. I am no child.
Uh-oh.
Don't even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I'm 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
words.
No, she did say 47.
reclaiming my time.
You will not do that. I
Order.
am not a child.
I am reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman and committee.
Let me stop right there. Nancy Mace is okay, 47. She looks all right for 47. I thought she was a little older than that, to be honest. But okay, 47. But she basically tells her, let's take it outside. Let's go ahead and let's take this joint outside. Let's take it to the streets. She puts the challenge out there as if to say, let's go box it out. They can stay in here and talk, but me and you, we got an appointment outside. 3 p.m. Be there. You understand what I'm saying? She put it on the old school elementary school. Let's go outside about this. Now, I don't know why people always say let's go outside. Because if you're being honest, all the best weapons are inside. You know what I'm saying? If you got to throw a chair at somebody, there's no chairs outside. But there's chairs inside. If I got to hit you with this mic stand, there's no mic stands outside, but there's mic stands inside. So I don't really want to take it outside. I want to keep it right here because I'm John Wick with accessories. You understand what I'm saying? Shoot, we're not going outside. No, I'm gonna take the nameplate. There you go with the nameplate. You see what I'm saying? Right. Look at the background. They got hand sanitizer, all types of. Oh, they got a stainless steel water joint, man. Boing, right off of somebody's head. No, let's keep it right here, baby. Let's keep it right here. So I'm gonna play it for you again. We'll let it run this time. I don't know. This is our Congress. This is I guess it's representative of the American people. Let's take it outside.
People will feel threatened. And child,
all
listen,
right.
I want y'all
I
to
am
tell
no
me
child.
whether or
Do
not.
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
Uh-oh.
I'm a grown
which
woman.
of those
Uh-oh.
emails
I have broken
actually
words, my
have.
ceilings, and you
Chairman, I
Order,
am
please.
reclaiming my
Let's go.
time.
You will not do that. I am
Order.
not a child.
I am reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman and committee is not in order.
Oh, she's packing up too. She about to start pulling out her earrings.
Chair recognizes Ms. Crockett.
No, point of order, Mr. Chairman.
State your point.
Is it allowed in the rules for a member to incite violence against another member?
Uh-oh.
She wants to take it outside.
Hey, I have the First Amendment right too.
And
young
so
man. I have the
I'd like
First
those
Amendment
words to be
right. I'm not
taken
gonna
down.
be a child.
I
I'm
am
not
moving
gonna
to
be
have
called a
those
child
words
by
taken
any of
down.
you.
I believe it's against the rules. to
Going
incite
outside doesn't
violence
incite
against
violence.
another
You have a
member of
conversation that isn't.
The committee will
interrupting Mr.
suspend.
Lee.
The member will stay through.
That was a smooth play though.
Words he wishes taken down.
No, that was a smooth play. How she said, technically, going outside does not mean that we're going to have violence. We could just be going to have a conversation outside of the chambers that we don't need everybody else to hear. That was a good play. She good. She good. She is good. Because I know in the urban communities, the phrase "let's take it outside" means we're going to go out there and whoever loses. But we're going out here. We're going to settle this outside. We're going to scrap. Let's take it outside means we're going to scrap. That's what that normally means. So if you say that to a person of hue, of color, that means that. That's why the black dude responded, and it was aimed at Jasmine Crockett. I get it. Okay. I don't think that Nancy Mace, personally, I don't really think Nancy Mace can beat up Jasmine Crockett. That's just my opinion. I think Jasmine Crockett got a little lower center of gravity. She'd go for them knees and them legs, take her out, man. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just based on build. So anyway, let me let it run for a second because I didn't know where it went. I thought that was the whole thing, and apparently there was more to it. Let's see if they ever start talking again.
We can take it outside, which is direct violation against the rules, inciting violence against another member.
What rule? What rule?
I mean, I don't know. He's sort of right.
How does that incite violence?
Mr. Chairman, there are, if I might point out, Mr. Chairman, there are decorum rules in the House of Representatives.
And the two parliamentarians are discussing this right now. We'll suspend for a second.
All right, hold on. Are we really about to have a conversation about whether or not to strike down the term "let's take it outside" as a possible violent threat? Now, look, it could have been taken that way. But she already said, well, we could have just been having a conversation. So at this point, you don't know what was going to happen if they went outside. Because she didn't say, well, yeah, if we'd have gone outside, I would have took it there. No. Hey, thanks for jumping in the chat, April May. April May said that Jasmine's hair and lashes would probably be her downfall in the fight. Now, let's be real. Nancy Mace got some long hair, too. It would have been one of them. Like I said, it would have been a Wildcat fight. If you ever seen the Wildcats fight, they had the hair. So, I'll be honest. I'll be 100% honest. I would literally pay a couple dollars to watch that. Like if Nancy Mace and Jasmine Crockett did like I'm not going to say like a mud wrestling thing. I don't want to be disrespectful. Maybe a celebrity boxing kind of thing, right? Let's go that route. So y'all don't think I'm just some dirtbag who wants to see half-naked women. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with half-naked women. I just don't want y'all to think that's all I want to see. But I would pay a couple dollars to see the two of them strap up with some soft gloves and go out there and punch it out for about 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I think in Congress, they should do that. It's representative of the country. And in this country, sometimes we got to take it outside. Sometimes words ain't going to work. Sometimes we got to go handle this like men. And I hate to use the term like men when they say that because that's going to piss off somebody. But what I'm saying is we're either going to fight it out or we're going to agree to disagree, but we're going to settle this right now. It's not going to linger. It's not going to be sitting around. We're going to handle this like right now. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, but Jasmine Crockett, she had to move her hair out the way. Her joint was like she had to hit it with the palm and the like one of those. That joint is, I don't know how much she paid for that, but that joint is heavy. It's a heavy set of hair. So let's see if they get back to it. Hold on.
Going to make a rule. What the gentlelady said was we can take this outside if you want.
Okay. Here we go. Let's split some hairs. Let's go.
Outside and have a cup of coffee or perhaps a beer or, we have lots of conversations outside. So I'm going to rule that.
This is awesome. I love what he just said.
That it's okay.
We get it.
It's okay.
All right, and then point of inquiry.
So it's okay.
Slope you're going down because we have.
Oh, you're going down the slippery slope.
Uh-oh.
So just to be clear, in this committee, we can ask threaten violence on someone as long as. Excuse me.
I did not threaten violence. I threatened no violence. I threatened no violence.
She did say let's take it outside. We're not going. Y'all funny. They funny, man. That's hilarious.
You might want to figure this one out.
Mr. Chairman, cursing today.
No violence.
Mr. Chairman.
No violence.
I'm going to appeal the ruling of the chair.
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, by the way, America, we pay these people to do this. Continue.
Chairman, I have a point of inquiry, and I apologize because I had a meeting and came right down. Is it true that Ms. Mace was belittled by being called a child? Is that against our rules?
She said, child. See, they don't understand Ebonics. This is the whole problem. The woman was speaking in Ebonics, and then Nancy Mace spoke back in additional Ebonics. And it threw the whole chamber off. That's why the black people are like, no, we know what let's take it outside means. And this guy's like, well, was she responding to being called a child? But that's not what child means in Ebonics. Child just means, man, it's the same thing. And if you say, man, listen, right? What, somebody gonna get mad about the pronouns? That's pretty much what that was. So she wasn't calling her an infant. She didn't say that. She just used, this is like a southern kind of, I don't know where she's from, one of them southern type states. But yeah. But she did call it a bleach MTG. She did call MTG a bleach blonde, butch built body something. Bad built butch body. Yeah, bad built butch body. That's what she called her. And she got away with that one too. Because she didn't directly say that that's who she was talking about. She said, well, what if someone talked about someone being a bleach blonde, bad built butch body? Would that be against the rules? That's how she did that. It was slick. I had to give props. Okay? That was slick. This was slick. Nancy Mace was slick. And now this guy asking a woman about, well, did she call her a child? He obviously does not speak Ebonics. That's not exactly what that means. Okay? Because you could be like, child, listen. that doesn't mean you're talking to a child. It's a term. It's almost a term of endearment. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me let this guy still try to decipher Ebonics in Congress. Let's watch our money. Let's watch our money at work right here. Come on.
The rules we asked for. Can we strike it then? I'd like to have it stricken. Okay. There's Mr. Crockett's word stricken then.
Stricken.
There's a motion. You have a motion, Mr. Frost?
I move to appeal the ruling of the chair.
There's a motion to appeal the ruling of the chair. Chair recognizes Mr. Gosar.
And there's also a motion to strike words, Mr. Chairman.
I move to table, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion.
Motion to take down words, sorry.
There's a motion to table.
Why does it seem like they don't know what they're
The
doing?
motion is not debatable.
Is that just me? They're like, what are we supposed to do here?
Debatable. All those in favor of okay. We're going to vote on the motion to table by Mr. Gosar, to table Mr. Frost.
No, we're doing this. They're doing this. They're having a vote on it.
So the motion is not debatable.
Oh my gosh.
Of Mr. Gosar's motion to table Mr. Frost's amendment or motion, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no.
No.
In the opinion of the chair,
Mr. Chair, I ask for a recorded vote.
The motion
Oh
to
my
a
God.
recorded vote is ordered. The clerk will call the roll. We have to do that right now. Clerk.
Oh my God. Is this really what we're doing? So because that lady said child or whatever, and then Nancy May said what she said, and he wanted to have the words used to say that they incited violence or something like that, and they want to have it stricken from the thing. They got to take a vote on this. Right now is what he said. So the whole thing got derailed because of that one little exchange. I don't even know what they were talking about. I don't know what the original debate was where the term came up and started this. What I do know is this seems like way too much time to waste on this. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not good at understanding the politics, but it's like, look, they didn't go outside and fight. Can we just push on? Like, why do we have to do all this stuff? She said it, so it should be on the record, but it shouldn't be considered whatever because she said we can go out there if you want to, making it Jasmine Crockett's decision if they were to have gone outside. She wasn't going to go out there by herself is what she said. So I get it. They spun that amazingly. It was very good work. I'm sure these people have legal backgrounds. That's why they knew what to say, how to say it, and how to come back from saying it. Just like Jasmine Crockett the first time, with the bleach blonde, bad built butch body thing. This is awesome. But I just feel like it's a waste of time too.
Clerk will call the roll.
But why not have some entertainment? Thanks, guys.
Would the clerk report the tally?
Mr. Chairman, on this vote, the ayes are 22, the nays are 17.
The motion to table passes. Now we will go back to debate, and I believe it was Ms. Crockett with 2 minutes and 57 seconds remaining.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chair, I actually had more time than that, but
Mr. Chairman,
I can finish up in the 2:40.
Chairman, Mr. Chairman,
We'll give you 4 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, I have a quick motion.
Oh, wait, Chair recognize Mr. Donald.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we move to structured debate for 15 minutes on Ms. Crockett's amendment.
Motion and second to structured debate.
Sound like he was saying, can we just talk about the real stuff?
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No.
No.
Motion passes to limit debate to 15 minutes.
Mr. Chair, I'd ask for a recorded vote.
Really?
Yo, did you hear him? My man said, really? My man said, really? Are you serious? Hold up, I gotta bring it back in case you missed it. He said, really? Like, come on, man. Seriously? I didn't know this was, like I said, I just recently started watching this stuff, and this stuff is hilarious, because this is what we pay them to deal with all day is goofiness. Just arguing over parliamentary procedure, and it's just goofy. And then at the end, let's send $80 billion to somebody that we don't know. Recess, like, whoa. Y'all spent 15 minutes talking about Jasmine Crockett and whether or not she meant violence or Nancy Mace meant violence. But anyway, let's just listen to this dude one more time. Let's let him say his piece.
Favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No.
No.
Motion passes to limit debate to 15 minutes.
Mr. Chair, I'd ask for a recorded vote.
Really?
What?
The clerk will the clerk will call the roll on Mr. Donald's motion to limit debate to 15 minutes to each.
See, Byron Donalds, he's up there. He's black.
Parliamentary.
So he get it.
Mr. Chairman, are we in the middle of
It's just Ebonics.
this motion?
I don't believe it's debatable. Is it?
I'm going to be honest. He was asking if they could get back to her thing for 15 minutes, is what he was trying to say. And then she debates that and wants, they were trying to limit her time to debate about whatever I still don't know what they started with. And this is like 10 minutes into this thing. I don't even know what the original debate was. All I know is the moment she said child, all hell broke loose. Nancy Mace was ready to go outside. And this other dude with the afro starts saying, hey, that's a threat in my community. He know. We know. They know. Maybe some of the old fuddy-duddies don't really know. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they're like, yeah, when we go outside, we just go have drinks and stuff. Maybe they really do feel like that. But in the world that I grew up in, that started in the 70s, you don't say let's go outside to just have a chat. You go outside to have a spat. You understand what I'm saying? There's a little bit of a difference. If you go outside and just have a chat, it's only because like you're talking to a woman and it's loud like where you are. You're like, hey, can we go outside? I can't hear nothing that's going on here. That's a whole different conversation. But when there's a conflict and you say, let's take it outside, we already know what that means. You either swing first or get hit first. That's how that works. Once we get out that door jam, once we get out the square, it's on. You see what I'm saying? Like if you cross the threshold of the door and go outside, that means you down to fight. That's what that means. So when you say let's take it outside, the person goes outside, and if the other person comes through the threshold, that's the fight movement right there. You came out here, you know what it is, and we're going to get it done. That's where it starts. That's exactly where it starts. So I'm not going to say that term didn't mean what it meant. But I also don't think that she really wanted to see Jasmine Crockett. I ain't gonna lie. I know she got a lot of hair up there, but she looked like she could scrap a little bit. I'm not saying Nancy Mace can't scrap, but Jasmine Crockett looks like she can scrap. Just a little bit. Like kind of on some Clarissa Shields type of, like she looked like she could scrap just a little bit. She looked like she done been through some things that made her have to learn how to scrap. She was probably short, had some bullies, and that's why she be throwing them shots at them ladies. Hey, make sure we get the likes up real quick while I let them finish out a 10-minute debate about this damn phrasing of using the term child. So, for any of my viewers here, any of the viewers of Purge with BS, okay, and what we do over here, I know all of you guys know, but let's just make sure we pass it on to our population that when a woman of brownness from certain areas uses the term child, it's just like an interjection at the beginning part of, it's almost like a greeting at the beginning of a sentence. Like when you write an email or something, hello such and such, child, the same thing. Okay? So I'm going to let them finish this debate, but I just think it's crazy that they're debating 10 minutes over this little situation. I'm thinking, hey, we might as well just take it outside and settle it there. It would have been faster.
It is debatable.
It's debatable. Now we're going to have a debate about it. Okay.
Yeah, the motion debate has already passed. I apologize. So now we're on the vote the clerk's calling the vote.
Right,
So,
a recorded vote.
Recorded vote.
Thank you.
On Mr. Donald's motion to limit debate to 15 minutes. All right. The clerk will report the vote tally.
Mr. Chairman,
This
on
is
this
crazy.
vote, the ayes are 23, the nays are 16.
All right. The motion passes for Mr. Donalds to limit debate to 15 minutes. Ms. Crockett will get her remaining 4 minutes, and then each side will have 7.5 additional minutes if necessary. So the chair recognizes Ms. Crockett for the remainder of her 4 minutes that don't count towards the limit to debate. Then from there on, If there's further requests for debate, it'll be 7.5 minutes each time. Chair recognizes Ms. Crockett for her remaining 4 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The final points that I was going to make is while this amendment has to do with civil rights, for whatever reason,
what amendment are they debating?
I decided to attack Democrats and pretend as if we do not look out for women. And I want to be clear that it's Democrats that were pushing for the Equal Rights Amendment, and I don't recall any Republicans supporting us having the Equal Rights Amendment. I also want to make it clear that just because someone fantasizes or wants to be dramatic about the idea of someone could be a quote unquote man in a locker room or in a bathroom, I've yet to hear an actual testimony of someone who, for whatever reason, has experienced this in real time. But I can tell you some real numbers and some real facts because I don't like to live in fantasy.
All right, hold on. Apparently this was about the guys in the bathroom debate. I didn't know what the debate was. Now I get it. Now I understand where they were supposed to be focused. Okay, so I'm going to say my little piece on that debate because we haven't had a bunch of dudes in bathrooms up until this point, and there's a reason for that. It's because it's not allowed. But if you open the door, then people are going to come in. And I understand, okay, we haven't had a bunch of reports of guys running up in bathrooms, but like I said, it's because right now it would be taboo to see it happen, and people would not want it to happen. And if you see that, what's your first response? Like if some dude gets ready to walk into a bathroom with my granddaughter, right? I'm definitely going to want to stop him, right? But am I going to like call the police after that? And then when the cops show up, what are they going to do? He didn't actually get in there. And even if he was in there, if he didn't do anything, there's nothing they can do. So the point is, let's just not open the door. Let's just not open the door. I get it. Everybody wants to feel how they want to feel. They want to be this. They want to be that. But yeah, let's just not open the door there. That's just a way to get people an opportunity to do things the wrong way. So bathrooms been working fine with the urinals on one side and the stalls on the other since before I got here. Why we need to start changing all that and start letting people be in spaces that people are not going to be comfortable with as a whole. Why is that a debate or conversation? Here's the thing. I am not of that community. So I can't speak on behalf of that community. I can speak on the behalf of the straight men, okay? And us straight guys do not attack other guys in the bathroom just because of what they have on. Or if we thought a woman came into the men's room, we would not attack that woman. If anything, we would be protective of her and like, hey, go use a stall over here. I'll make sure nobody goes in there. That's what most men like myself would do. So there's no fear on the other end of it. Like if a woman comes into a men's room, it's not, I don't think guys are just jumping on them and all that kind of stuff. Or if a guy that thinks that or identifies as a woman comes into a men's room, I don't think the guys who are in there at the urinal are like jumping and beating them. Now, I'm not saying nobody's ever got beat up in the men's room. I'm just saying I don't believe that it's happening across the population to the point that we need to be worried about it and sending them over to the other bathroom with the fear that somebody's going to get hurt if they go into the men's room. With really, the fear should be if they go over there and somebody like me got their granddaughter in that bathroom. That's where there's going to be more conflict than if you go over there. So I just think it's a poor debate because things were working fine. I'm not saying nobody ever got hurt up. I'm just saying we're not trying to be transphobic. It's not a fear. The fear is not of the people who mean well, okay? It's just like gun laws and stuff. The law-abiding folks that are doing the right thing, it's not those people that are the problem. It's the ones that when you open the door, they exploit the vulnerability and they use it to do some goofy shit. And before you know it, somebody's child gets kidnapped or something like that, and it becomes a big story. So I just think in the interest of not allowing things to just move forward naturally like that, because bad actors are always going to find their way into everything. If there's a way in, they're going to find a way in, right? So I don't know. I get it. We want to be inclusive. We want to be tolerant. We want to be all of these things. But what I don't want is for somebody to use that to come up in there and do something goofy to my grandbabies. Because then I got to go to jail. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want to go to jail. But I'll be, if you, you understand what I'm saying? So why put anybody in that position, truthfully? But as I said, I can only speak from the side of the heterosexual male that be in the bathroom. And I done seen guys or people come in that bathroom who identify as women. I'm going to say it as safe as I can on that. I have seen people come in who identify as women. And I ain't never seen nobody start threatening them or beating them up or anything like that. Not saying it never happened. I'm just saying it's not the thing to do. And honestly, if that happened, I would probably be inclined to try to stop it. Like, oh, what are you doing? So, I don't know. I'm going to let Miss Crockett finish her little couple of minutes here because now I want to hear the debate of what she's saying. Nancy Mace is on this. She doesn't want men in women's spaces. She doesn't want them in the locker rooms. She doesn't want them in sports with women, biological men, biological women in sports together. And a lot of people agree with her on that point, but there are certain things where it's like this. If you ban something, then there has to be a consequence for it. So if you ban men and women's spaces, such as the bathroom, then now there has to be a real consequence for it. When you go to the bathroom, you'll see a note on the wall that'll say, like, if you smoke in this bathroom, it's $1,000 fine and whatever. So it's telling you the rule, and if you break it, this is what you're looking at. If you start to ban something, then you're going to put a rule in place. So there's going to be a sign on here. If you're a dude and you ain't supposed to be in here, you will be arrested. And you see what I'm saying? And then that becomes a little weird too. So, and I feel like some people would not immediately conform to that new thing, if that's the thing. And that would cause additional conflict because somebody else would feel like now they have the power to like arrest a person for it. So, slippery slope. Let's let her finish.
When I'm talking about how I'm going to govern for the American people. The facts are, in my state alone, in the state of Texas,
I knew she was Southern.
Decided that they were going to overturn the Roe decision. 26,000 women then ended up raped. 26,000 is what we had reported. And that was only within about a year's time span. And when they reported those rapes, none of them seemed to have anything to do with trans folk. And I don't recall any legislation to help out those women in Texas and beyond that are actually dying. We're not projecting may die, but are actually dying or have died in southern states that have decided that they wanted to go after our reproductive freedom. So as a woman in this country, as a Texan, and as a black woman,
well, that hair is heavy, ain't it?
When we look at the numbers,
it got her whole head.
Data and science, and I know
she got it just the whole time.
But the numbers are clear that specifically black women have always struggled when it came down to the maternal mortality rates in general. The fact that somebody who looks like me, no matter how much money they have, because I can remind you of a very wealthy tennis star that almost lost her life while trying to give birth. Some things I honestly just don't.
Conversation took a change.
I do believe in privacy because honestly, I don't want none of y'all making decisions if I ever end up pregnant.
I don't want none of y'all.
What it takes.
Y'all.
And I give the same opportunity for other women in this country to make decisions as
she cannot lift her head straight up. It's stuck.
Look at how we protect women completely differently. I can tell you that at least in the 766,000 women or 766,000 constituents that I represent, I've had them come to me concerned about whether or not they could survive childbirth. But I have not had a single person in my district tell me that they were concerned that they may be raped by a trans person.
Okay. So, all right, hold on. Let me digest it. Give me a second here. I got to digest. So because no one has reported that that's happened from a trans person, then we should just open the door. That seems to be the argument. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if that's the argument, right? She's saying because it hasn't happened, or at least that she knows of, then we might as well just open the door. Because when women are being assaulted, they're not being assaulted by trans women. They're being assaulted by straight dudes who can't control themselves or whatever, right? I would have to disagree with that, Miss Crockett, okay? And I'm going to just give you one quick example about that. Anybody remember the story recently, because it's been a few of them, of a guy going into a jail, identifying as a woman, and then getting the daggone prisoners pregnant and such, or sexually assaulting them? That happens. And I've seen more than enough of those stories. So no, we're not talking about a bathroom in that situation, but we are talking about a particular space that's supposed to be only biological women, and we put a male person in there. Instinct and wild animalness will take over, because you know wild animalness takes over anyway when you're in jail. You become a little savage while you're in there. It just is what it is. So if you're a little savage and you happen to be a guy and you happen to be surrounded by a bunch of women and those women happen to be a little turned up is a good word to say it. So making that whole process a little bit easier if you're the guy that wants to do it. And what happens? They end up impregnating the whole damn tier. So this is the problem when you let dudes into spaces. Some of us are going to exploit it. I'm sorry, I'm not. But some of us are going to exploit it because that's what dudes do. If you give us a way into something goofy like that, there's a few of us out there that ain't got it all together and will try to utilize that to go snatching up women and throwing them in a van. I'm going to dress up as a lady. I'm going to go in this bathroom. I'm going to snatch me up a chick and throw her in my van. And nobody's going to say nothing because I'm allowed to be in there. That's problematic to think about. So yes, Jasmine Crockett, I appreciate you stating that that's not a widespread problem now. And the reason why it isn't is because it's not widespread trans type acceptance in bathrooms. There's a few, like, you got the family bathroom at the airport and stuff, right? Where technically that's a trans bathroom. Everybody can go in there. Everybody. Kids, adults, everybody's in there. You got the diaper changing thing on the side. So the family bathroom is technically like a trans bathroom. And no, there's not a bunch of people getting robbed and murdered in there. Okay? So I'll give you that. But I just feel like I don't trust dudes that I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? There's some guys out here that ain't got it all, right? They done lost a few marbles over the years, haven't been with a woman in a minute, and they might be willing to go to some really extreme lengths to try to quell that urge. And I would hate to think that they would do something like that, but I would hate to be foolish and think that they wouldn't, because that's foolish to think nobody would do that. Okay? Now, I'm going to return to that idea here about after we've seen the clips. For those of y'all that don't know who Nancy Mace is, Nancy Mace is a congresswoman. Jasmine Crockett is another congresswoman. And I will tell you right now, I got $25 on Jasmine Crockett. In a soft glove 3-round match, 3 minutes per round, I got Jasmine Crockett on that. Just being honest. Now, if Nancy Mace ever sees this, I'm sorry, Nancy. I'm not saying that you can't fight. I'm just saying Jasmine looks like she's ready to fight. You ever see somebody like just constantly? That's a wildcat. That's why the quote was, "Don't poke a wildcat," because they come at you with the claws right off the top, right off the top. So anyway, I'm getting ready to run out of time here in a second, guys. I'm sorry. Only got about 20-something minutes left, and I got to get to the Joe Biden farewell speech. I haven't seen it, just like I hadn't seen this. I just heard about it. I didn't know they did a whole 10-minute debate after that. I thought she just said that piece, and then they just moved on and went to litigating some shit. But no, they were trying to vote on whether or not to let trans people's bathroom rights be voted on. Meanwhile, people out here still hungry, can't live. Now they done tapped into the whole Chinese TikTok thing called, what was that? Red something, red stripe, red zone, red something, red tone. And now they're seeing the Chinese people living better than us. And people are starting to become upset with that. So the world I think we're spending too much time on the bathroom conversation. Like, this thing's been going on for a minute. Look, let's just not do that. Let's just not do that. A lot of people have an issue with it. It seems like it gives an opportunity for something bad to happen. Let's just not do it. And let's move the hell on. But it's like every time I look up, we're talking about people who may or may not just be confused. And we feed the confusion and confuse ourselves. So now we're all confused out here. Nobody knows. But what I do know is if the wrong one get in the bathroom with the right one, or the wrong one, whatever, however you want to put it, and something pops off, the first thing they're going to say is, well, we should have never changed that law. So unless you're willing to have that kind of blood on your hands, I think you need to stop having that conversation. Because just like the illegal immigration thing, right? You let illegal immigration happen, you open the doors up, right? Legal immigrants came in, had a bunch of criminal charges, so on and so forth. Now, every time something happens that one of them do, they blame the immigration policy. Even though really it happened in a local area. Maybe the police already knew about the guy and didn't say anything. But they keep blaming the root cause, which is letting them in the first place. Which is how I feel about the bathroom. I'm not saying we won't be able to blame the person when they get out of line, but we got to be honest that they wouldn't even be in there if we didn't open up the door in the first place. So both things need to be dealt with simultaneously. That's all I'm saying. And I'm sure in Congress, they probably got cliques, because they already got the parties and stuff like that. So they click up, and I'm sure that they be ready to fight. Because to some people, some of this stuff is so far on the other side, it becomes disrespectful. Like Nancy Mace is not transphobic. She's mansphobic, okay? She doesn't want no man up in the bathroom with her who could possibly decide that today is the day that he don't like men's no more. He want women's. That's what she's worried about. That's a warranted fear. And as a person who respects and wants to protect women, the other Congress people should understand that and not necessarily ostracize the lady for it. Like, that's a warranted fear. Imagine me. I'm going to give you, y'all only seeing me on the screen. I'm like 6'5", 250 something pounds. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big dude. But if I decide to shave my beard, throw on a dress, and go up in the bathroom with Nancy Mace, she would probably have a fear of that. Like, whoa, that's a huge bitch. But it's not a bitch. It's a big-ass man is what she's going to see. So she's mansphobic. She's not transphobic. She's mansphobic. Let's get the words right. And the reason why that phobia is there is because there's men out here, big, burly dudes that be looking for a way in to do some goofy shit. So we should protect against that to the best of our ability. And I don't see why it's still a damn conversation. And I'm going to leave that at that and get over to this damn Joe Biden thing I got to talk about. Hold up. So, as many people know, our president-elect, Mr. Joseph Biden, is getting ready to, leave office. So he had to give like his last, I don't know what is this, his last speech, his farewell speech. There you go. His farewell speech had to happen. And I saw 20 seconds of it. And people were like, Joe Biden's warning about the takeover of Trump and the oligarchy and all that. And I'm a big believer in context and understanding the full scope. Just like with the Jasmine Crockett thing. Okay? So, yeah, Jasmine Crockett said what she said with the child and all of that. But at the end of the day, the debate about the dudes in the bathroom is more important. And that needs to be done with. They need to make that decision and be over with. Anyway. So Joe Biden comes over with his little speech here. And I'm going to let y'all go through it with me because I just don't feel like I deserve to go through this by myself. I believe that whatever pain and agony that I have to get possibly from listening to this, that it shouldn't just be self. It needs to be broadcasted to others so that we can balance the load. Pause. Okay? And Joe looks real serious in this shot. I don't know what he's about to say. And I'll just say it this way. Any opinions that Joe Biden gives are not necessarily the opinions of Purge of the BS or its affiliates, sponsors, and members. Okay? Let me give them the announcement.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of another purge of the BS, sanctioned by the First Amendment. Frustration levels 0 to 100 have been authorized for use during this purge. All weapons are restricted. Government officials have not been granted immunity from the purge of the BS and shall undoubtedly receive the smoke. Commencing at the sound of the gong, any and all BS, especially unnecessary goofiness, will be purged without prejudice. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be available, but they will be busy because they too will be watching the purge of the BS. Blessed be those who have already been victims of some BS. May God be with you all.
All right, guys. Are we ready to go bye-bye to Biden? Ready? Okay. Let's do it. Hold on a second, man. Get the likes up. Bro, y'all in here with me? Are y'all with me? Did I put you to sleep? I'm sorry. I was just talking about Jazzy Jazz and Nancy Mace. Mace in your face. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. But thank you to all the new subscribers jumping in here. I appreciate y'all, man. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're ready to hear about this Biden or Biden saying bye. We're going to just go through it one time. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because this is my last clip of the day because I got some shit to do. Okay? And I feel like it might be funny playing them fast, so we're going to see how that turns out. Not too fast.
To you tonight from the Oval Office.
Oh, okay.
Before I begin, let me speak to important news from earlier today.
Okay, what happened?
8 months of nonstop negotiation. My administration, a ceasefire and a hostage deal has been reached by Israel and Hamas, the elements of which I laid out in great detail in May of this year.
Mm-hmm.
This plan was developed and negotiated by my team and will be largely implemented by the incoming administration. That's why I told my team to keep the incoming administration fully informed, because that's how it should be, working together as Americans.
Hold on. I got to pause it for a second because, yes, they did make a ceasefire agreement, and like 4 hours later, some stuff started getting blown up. So I don't know if that's holding well right now. I haven't been back on the socials yet, but that didn't start out well, at least not yesterday. But anyway, let's go.
This will be my final address to you from the American people from the Oval
Yay!
Office, from this desk as president. And I've been thinking a lot about who we are and maybe more importantly, who we should be.
Really?
Long ago in New York Harbor, an ironworker installed beam after beam, day after day. He was joined by steelworkers, stonemasons, engineers. They built not just a single structure, but a beacon of freedom. The very idea of America was so big, we felt the entire world needed to see. The Statue of Liberty, a gift from France after our Civil War. Like the very idea of America, it was built not by one person, but by many people, from every background and from around the world. Like America, the Statue of Liberty is not standing still. Her foot literally steps forward atop a broken chain of human bondage. She's on the march, and she literally moves. She was built to sway back and forth to withstand the fury of stormy weather, to stand the test of time because storms are always coming. She sways a few inches.
Oh, he's talking about America. I thought he was trying to talk about Kamala Harris. I'm sorry.
Statue of Liberty is also an enduring symbol.
Statue of Liberty. Okay, gotcha.
A soul shaped by forces that bring us together and by forces that pull us apart. And yet, through good times and tough times, we've withstood it all. A nation of pioneers and explorers, of dreamers and doers.
Okay.
Of ancestors native to this land.
Oh, you going to talk about them? Really?
A nation of immigrants came to build a better life. A nation holding the torch of the most powerful idea ever in the history of the world. That all of us.
Did he mention the slaves that they dragged over with him?
Treated with dignity, justice, and fairness.
I don't think he mentioned the slaves. Did he mention the slaves? He said the natives. He said the immigrants, that came over here looking for a better life. That wasn't slaves. They weren't coming over here looking for a better life when they got here. That was a whole different situation. We're not expanding their lifestyles, okay? So, I don't know. Maybe he didn't say it. Maybe he didn't say it. I'm not going to run it back because I ain't got time for Joe right now. Not that kind of time. Somebody rewind it and tell me later.
And be defined and be imposed, moved in every way possible. Our rights, our freedoms, our dreams. But we know the idea of America, our institution, our people, our values that uphold it are constantly being tested. Ongoing debates about power and the exercise of power. But whether we lead by the example of our power or the power of our example. Whether we show the courage to stand up to the abuse of power or we yield to it. After 50 years at the center of all of this, I know
who was that?
The idea of America is respecting the institutions that govern a free society. The presidency, the Congress, the courts, a free and independent press. Institutions that are rooted, they just might not reflect the timeless words, but they echo the words of the Declaration of Independence.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm good on him not having to give speeches no more. I'm good on that.
We, the people. Our system of separation of powers, checks and balances. It may not be perfect, but it's maintained our democracy for nearly 250 years, longer than any other nation in history that's ever tried such a bold experiment. In the past 4 years, our democracy has held strong. And every day I've kept my commitment to be president for all Americans.
Really?
One of the toughest periods in our nation's history.
Did you?
I've had a great partner in Vice President Kamala Harris.
Oh, you did?
It's been the honor of my life to see the resilience of essential workers.
His dentures are giving him trouble right now, by the way.
Heroism of
He's
service
like,
members and first responders, keeping us safe. The determination of advocates standing up for our rights and our freedoms, instead of losing their jobs to an economic crisis that we inherited. Millions of Americans now have the dignity of work. Millions of entrepreneurs and companies creating new businesses. And
you talking about COVID?
Hiring American workers, using American products. Together, we've launched a new era of American possibilities.
Did we?
One of the greatest modernizations of infrastructure in our entire history.
Huh?
From new roads, bridges, clean water.
You don't say.
High-speed internet.
Really?
Every American.
All of that.
We invented the semiconductor, smaller than the tip of my little finger. And
Really?
now it's bringing those chip factories and those jobs back to America where they belong, creating thousands of jobs. Finally, giving Medicare the power to negotiate lower prescription drug prices for millions of seniors. And finally, doing something to protect our children and our families by passing the most significant gun safety law in 30 years and bringing violent crime to a 50-year low, meeting our sacred obligation to over 1 million veterans so far who are exposed to toxic materials, and to their families, providing medical care and education benefits and more for their families. You know, it will take time.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. For those of y'all that are Biden fans, he just kind of ran down. I think he was running down all the stuff that got completed during his presidency. Now, I heard a few things, but he put me to sleep for a hot second there, so I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm all good on him not having to give any more speeches. It's not talking about who I'm supporting and who I'm not supporting and who I want to do this or that. I'm just saying I'm good on Biden not having to give no more speeches. Okay? I'm good on Biden. Okay? I think he did his time. He can go retire, go sit back with the grandbabies, drink some coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like, go do that, Joe. Just go sit down, and that's fine. And I'm okay with that. I think that's a good look for him, is to just go retire, let it be whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. He's talking about, and I'm sorry, April May in the chat said that he's talking about people that lost their jobs, but the federal government was one of the main ones that fired people for not getting the shot. Even though most of them they sent home anyway. So who cared if they got the shot? You see what I'm saying? They sent most of them home. Anyway, let me let them keep going. I got only a couple minutes left here.
But the seeds are planted.
Oh, the seeds are planted.
For decades to come.
Okay.
At home, we created nearly 17 million new jobs, more than any other single administration.
I don't think so.
More people have health care than ever before.
I thought that was a lie.
And
I thought that
overseas,
was
we strengthened
debunked or something.
Ukraine is still free. And we pulled ahead of our competition with China. And so much more.
Did you?
I'm so proud of how much we've accomplished together with the American people.
Mm.
And I wish the incoming administration success, because I want America to succeed.
No, you don't.
That's why
I'm
it's
sorry.
on my duty to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition of power, to ensure we lead by the power of our example. I have no doubt that America is in a position to continue to succeed. That's why my farewell address tonight, I want to warn the country of some things that give me great
Now
concern.
here it is. This is where it gets hot. Hold on.
This is a dangerous concentration, and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. The dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked. Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence. It really threatens our entire
Joe, you're scaring the people. Joe, don't do that.
And a fair shot for everyone to get ahead. We see the consequences all across America. And we've seen it before. More than a century ago, the American people stood up to the robber barons back then and busted the trusts. They didn't punish the wealthy. Just made the wealthy play by the rules everybody else had to.
All right, hold on. I just got to pause it here because Joe Biden ain't broke. Joe Biden has businesses. Joe Biden has money, resources. Joe Biden's not broke. So when he's talking about wealth and power, you talk about yourself, Joe. You part of that. I don't get to just call up Chinese businesses and start doing businesses and stuff. Like, we don't get to do that as regular folks. So, Joe, you're part of the problem. And if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So you're going to go out the door saying, I'm warning you about these dudes that's coming in here. Well, what about you? You threw all them numbers out there. You know what I'm saying? You threw all them numbers out there, but I specifically remember watching the CNN report where they were saying the jobs report numbers were super inflated and that didn't even happen like that. And I'm inclined to believe that because it ain't been easy out here for the last number of years. And most people can at least agree to that. They may not agree on who became the next president, but we can at least agree on the fact that it ain't been real good for everybody out here these last couple years. Shit ridiculous. And then they hooked into that red note thing. That's what it was, the red note thing. And Chinese people getting produce for pennies. While we spending $4 for a bushel of, not a bushel, but a little bunch of bananas. You know what I'm saying? Like they literally are living all right over there from what I've seen. And I'm not mad at them. I'm just saying, can we get some of that? Not from them, but from our own government. Can we be all right over here? We got all this money to send to Ukraine. We got all this money to send to Russia, whoever else. You just name the country that we send money to and fill in the blanks there. All I'm saying is, can we get some of that at home? Can we keep that same energy right here? That's all I'm saying. So we're going to let Joe Biden finish his little situation here. But I'm just saying, when he starts talking about an oligarchy of power, that's already what was there. Most of the politicians own oil businesses and some more stuff. Most of them are making more money outside of being politicians than they are at actually being politicians. So you're not going to tell me about somebody else because you part of that too. It's just Trump ain't listening to y'all, and that's why you want to warn everybody about it because he's not part of the age-old in club. He bought his way in, just like Elon Musk. He didn't get it from a bunch of generations of politics and all that kind of stuff. He just bought his way in by donating to all Democrats for most years. And then when y'all didn't want him to run for president, didn't think he was serious, the Republicans were like, we'll take you, bro. And they took him over on that side, threw some money behind him with his own money, and he done made it twice. So, Joe, don't do that. Don't be trying to warn me of something else when it's been y'all the whole time. And now all of a sudden, you want to come out here. I'm warning you about these people coming in. But what about you? What about the people that just came out? You're not going. Nothing was wrong. Y'all didn't do nothing wrong, huh? Okay.
Workers want rights to earn their fair share.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, they were dealt into the deal, and helped put us on a path to building the largest middle class,
ready,
prosperous
man.
century.
Ready to be done with this thing, bro. You tripping?
The last 4 years, that's exactly what we've done. People should be able to make as much as they can, but play by the same rules. Pay their fair share of taxes.
Pay. Pay what? We got money. What are we talking about? We got money. We got billions of dollars. What are they always worrying about? Somebody got to pay something for. We got money. We got all these people here working. Taxes come out every paycheck. We got money. Why are they always talking about the billionaires got to pay more? To who? How does that make, if billionaires pay higher taxes, right, then they're already paying. And the federal government is the one getting that money because it's tax money. It's not community money. It's not like they pay more and then the government's giving us a cut. We don't get none of that. So it doesn't mean nothing to me because they're paying 20% or whatever they're paying and they just have more resources. So if you're over $400,000 a year, whatever it is, you paying taxes. It just don't hurt as much as the person who's making $45,000. That's all it is. It's not that they don't pay nothing. I mean, think about it. When you buy something, you pay a tax on that. You purchase a car, there's a tax on that. You purchase foods, tax on that. So you're paying taxes all over the damn place. And if you got money, you're paying taxes out to these different things, right? That means you keeping money in circulation. You got money going, and you're paying taxes at the same time. So I don't want to keep hearing about the billionaire. Then just change the tax code. Trump said that years ago. If you don't want them doing the loopholes or whatever, then change the tax code. But you can't do it because the people that donate to you are the millionaires, and they're not going to donate to you if you start messing with their money. So stop with the bullshit. He's blowing smoke. He is blowing smoke. Don't tell me about these guys now like you wasn't just in there and it wasn't already going on for all them years. I hate when they do that. Now all of a sudden it's this. Okay.
Right now.
You lying, Joe.
Has never been clear. Just look across the
No,
country.
it hasn't been clear. He's right.
Carolina. That's why I signed the most significant climate and clean energy law ever in the history of the world. And the rest of the world is trying to model it now. It's working. Creating
really?
jobs and industries of the future. Now we've proven we don't have to choose between protecting the environment and growing the economy. We're doing both. But powerful forces want to wield their unchecked influence to eliminate the steps we've taken to tackle the climate crisis, to serve their own interest for power and profit. We must not be bullied into sacrificing the future of our children and our grandchildren. We must keep pushing forward.
Hold on a second. Did he say bullied? We must not be bullied into bullied. Who's bullying folks? Y'all be bullying folks when you take our money and send millions of dollars somewhere and we can't even get a business loan as a small business. That's bullying. You force us to pay these taxes. If you don't pay the taxes, you owe them anywhere and you can get put in jail. Right? That's bullying. I'm not saying that Trump and them can't be bullies, but the government is a bully. It's the whole thing. That's government overreach. That's why they talk about it. I hate when people externalize the stuff like that. Like you're in government. You're the leader of it. But you're telling me about the government. And like they're bad. But dude, you're there. You've been there since the 90s or the 80s or whatever. So whatever's been created, you were part of that. So you should take that accountability instead of worrying everybody about Trump, man. Trump is just Trump. He been Trump since he was... Actually, I think he's a little calmer this time around than he was the first time around. Maybe he understands the game a little better now since he already did it before. But he's not as mean as he was the first time. He was very abrasive the first time around. But that's because he didn't know any other way to be, because that's who he was up until that point. Now he's been in politics for a little bit, so they were like, okay, he can calm it down just a little bit. But come on, Joe. Don't tell us all this stuff about the oligarchy. And yes, we don't like that Elon Musk is all in everything, but he can't vote for shit anyway. So as long as the information is correct, even though Elon might be overstepping his bounds, if he's telling correct information and he's putting out actual information that is fact-checkable correct, I can't be but so mad. Yeah, it's annoying as shit because it's all over the place and it's constant. But if it's true, then, maybe that's a good thing and not a bad thing. I'm just saying, maybe having people in those positions who can actually put out information is not a bad thing. That's what he's saying, is it's bad to have that kind of transparency. It's bad to have Elon Musk connected anywhere to the government. But he's still not in the government. He's the same person he was. He's just vocal. He was already getting subsidies. He was already working with the government to shoot off rockets. So Elon's position has not changed. He just gave y'all a little goofy ass logo with a dog on it. And now y'all think it's something different. Ain't nothing different. He just talking shit. That's what he does. And he can't go into the chambers of anything and bang a gavel on anything. He makes no votes. He has no voting power. He is nothing but a guy that has some money and likes certain things to go a certain way. But if he starts lying on the internet, like with the H-1B thing, people came back at him for that. So we'll keep it transparent. I ain't mad at Elon. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do. I just don't like when these politicians be like, yeah, and then the guys in the White House. Dude, you're sitting in the White House. So what guys are you talking about? Anyway.
Push faster. There's no time to waste. It's also clear that American leadership in technology is an unparalleled source of innovation that can transform lives. We see the same dangers of the concentration of technology, power, and wealth.
Okay.
In his farewell address, President Eisenhower spoke of the dangers of the military-industrial complex. He warned us then about, and I quote, the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power, end of quote.
What is misplaced power? First of all, power is to the people. Hold on a second. Pause, Joe. Pause. What the hell is misplaced power in government. The government is supposed to be by and for the people. So if the people have the power, like voting, then that's not misplaced. That's exactly where it should be. Now, what he's talking about is reach. That's what he's talking about. The average citizen, up until current day, did not have reach. Meaning, I can jump on this broadcast, I can hit Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, I can hit like Instagram, TikTok. You see what I'm saying? I can hit all of them at the same time, and there's different people on the different forums at the same time, and you can really reach a lot of people. Well, Elon Musk is able to do that. And so you can't just pull the wool over people's eyes and they find out after the fact what y'all done already voted on. So that's what he don't like. It's not power misplaced. The power to speak is not misplaced. The ability to quickly disseminate information out into the public is where he has a problem. I'm just saying. Just saying. I'm seeing through you, Joe. I know you're saying farewell, but you're telling us to look out for what? To look out for people telling us stuff that y'all been hiding? Hey, I'll call bullshit if it's bullshit. But if it's not bullshit, then I'm more upset with the fact that you hiding it, not the fact that the person told me about what you hide. And you want me to be mad at the person that's telling me what you hide. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Potential rise. A tech industrial complex.
Potential rise. Here we
Pose
go.
real dangers for our country as well. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing. Social media is giving up on fact-checking.
Hold up, man.
The truth is smothered by lies, told for power and for profit. We must hold the social platforms accountable.
So what are you talking about? Hold the social platforms accountable, man? Joe is making me mad. I didn't know I was gonna get this angry. Y'all paid them to not let people say certain shit. What do you mean you gotta hold them accountable? We need to hold y'all accountable, man. Like, what are we talking about here? You worrying about social platforms. You worrying about TikTok because TikTok was making all that money and sending it back to China. That's why y'all was worried about TikTok. Mark Zuckerberg and them all said the same thing. Yes, federal government, Joe Biden's people was yelling at us and cussing us out because people didn't want to get the vaccine and they were getting side effects. And they told us that we couldn't publish anything where people were talking about the side effects of the vaccine. He admitted to that. He wrote a whole letter about it. So we know what happened. So you're not going to tell me it's the platform problem. The problem is the politicians utilizing that power and influence to censor good information. Fact checking, and the problem with fact checking was the facts were based on somebody else's narrative. And so they could fact check something and act like it was fact, and it wasn't. It was actually fiction. So that's why Zuckerberg said, let's get rid of that, because that was the government doing that. That was Wikipedia and shit. Community notes is we all seen what happened. We all were standing there when it happened. And we're going to all add context and all agree that this is what happened. That's what community notes is. It's a bunch of people who've seen a particular topic or seen the information on the topic, and they're saying this did or did not happen, and that's pretty much the end of it. So I would like the fact checking to be there, but not if it's going to be bullshit. You see what I'm saying? I don't mind the fact checking, but don't have the fact check be false. That's a waste of the fact check in the first place. So he's talking about holding social media platforms accountable. So we're going to see what else he got to say. We only got a couple more minutes of him. And then I got to get out of here because, like I said, I got shit to do. But I wanted to bring this to y'all so you understand that Mr. Joe Biden is still trying to get people to incite some type of an uprising against the incoming administration. And I just think we should can we stop with that for a second and try to figure out how we're going to best survive with the incoming administration. You can't keep fighting it. The vote came in. The election is over. There's probably a tab under this video right now saying that Donald Trump won the election. And this ain't even about that. You see what I'm saying? But it's all over. We know that it's over. No recount, no rematch. It's over with. So let's move forward. You know what I'm saying? Let's move forward. So I'm going to let Joe Biden move forward. And April, May, thank you again for jumping in the chat over there. You are 100% correct that the fact check needs to have sources that are different than the government sources. And that's what community notes is. So it sounds like you're just leaving it up to folks, but a bunch of people aren't going to spit false information because we like to prove people wrong. It's like a natural thing. We love to find out, oh, you lying, and call you out on it. So that's why if it's fact checkers, we can't call them out on it because we don't know who's fact checking. It's AI. We're just pulling Wikipedia, Google searches. I don't know where it's coming from. But community notes literally will show you other posts about the same topic. It'll show you who's talking about it, where the original videos came from. It is a little more investigative. I'll be honest with you. I like it. So let me let Biden finish up. I'm talking a little shit.
To protect our children, our families,
children.
and our very democracy from the abuse of power. Meanwhile, artificial intelligence is the most consequential technology of our time, perhaps of all time. Nothing offers more profound possibilities and risks for our economy and our security, our society, for humanity. Artificial intelligence even has the potential to help us answer my call to end cancer as we know it. But unless safeguards are in place, AI could spawn new threats to our rights, our way of life, to our privacy, how we work and how we protect our nation. We must make sure AI is safe and trustworthy.
AI been around. What are you talking about?
In the age of AI, it's more important than ever that the people must govern. And as the land of liberty, America, not China, must lead the world in the development of AI. You know, in the years ahead, it'll help to be.
Pause.
The president.
All right, I'm going to tell y'all right now. I was watching The Matrix the other day, right? I'm a big fan of The Matrix. At least the first, 2 or 3 of them. I think the last one, it got a little weird at the end. But initially, and here's the thing. In The Matrix, the original Matrix, they mentioned that AI was like the reason why the world ended. That was 1999, okay? 1999 was when the first Matrix came out. It is 2025. Terminator Judgment Day did not happen. And you're not going to keep scaring people with AI. AI is AI. That's what it does. It comes up with concepts, and then we take it and we talk to it. But it's not freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Terminator. At least not yet. And if you want that to not happen, don't be telling us as the regular people about it. Talk to the companies that make stuff. Make sure that they're not making evil eye robots. But other than that, what are you going to say? Don't use ChatGPT to help you find out information to come up with a good script. Of course they're going to use ChatGPT. It does make things easier. Now don't get carried away with it. Some of the AI videos that I be seeing, I ain't going to lie, they do get a little carried away with it. They definitely get a little carried away with it. But as April May said in the chat, and I've said 1,000 times before because I'm into IT myself, is AI is trained by humans. I did a whole episode on the Kenyan people that felt like they were being treated like slaves. And what was their job? AI trainers. But they're Kenyans. And they're training the AI that we see. And that's why the stuff sounds foreign sometimes when it comes up with a concept. It sounds like a foreign person trying to translate a concept, right? And that's what it is. It's just a mimicking. Here's the thing. I can't type as quick as a computer can come up with print, right? Even though my brain can come up with the idea probably faster or just as fast. The physical output that it would take to create after I have the idea is what the AI speeds up because it's already digitized. It's doing everything with math, whereas I got to figure out how do I take this idea in the mental realm and make it physically available in front of me. How do I bring this to fruition, as they would say, right? AI doesn't have that same limitation. It's already digitized, so it keeps everything in one realm, which makes it easy. It's word, okay, we're going to make words. We're going to make a digital picture, okay, we're making a picture. But it's also goofy at the same time. I like Grok. I use Grok sometimes to do thumbnails. If you see some of the outputs that Grok comes up with, you'll be like, where did that thing get 4 arms from? And why did you put 4 arms on it? Like, it comes up with some goofy stuff sometimes, but that's AI. It's trained by people, and not everybody that's trained in AI is a genius. Let's just say that. Some of them ain't that smart. They be training AI to do and say some dumb stuff.
See, the Congress, the courts, the free press.
All right,
and
here we
American
go.
people.
Let's let them finish out.
Forces. We must reform the tax code, not by giving the biggest tax cuts to billionaires, but by making them begin to pay their fair share. We need to get dark money. That's that hidden funding behind too many campaigns contributions. We need to get it out of our politics. We need to enact an 18-year time limit, time and term, for the strongest ethics and the strongest ethics reforms for our Supreme Court. We need to ban members of Congress from trading stock while they're in the Congress. We need to amend the Constitution to make clear that no president is immune from crimes that he or she commits while in office.
Oh, boy.
The president's power is not limited. It's not absolute, and it shouldn't be. And in a democracy, there's another danger to the concentration of power and wealth. It erodes a sense of unity and common purpose. It causes distrust and division. Participating in our democracy becomes exhausting and even disillusioning. And people don't feel like they have a fair shot. We have to stay engaged in the process. I know it's frustrating. A fair shot is what makes America America. Everyone's entitled to a fair shot.
What is he talking
Not a guarantee,
about?
Just a fair shot, an even playing field, going as far as your hard work and talent can take you. We can never lose that essential truth, remain who we are. I've always believed, and I've told other world leaders, America can be defined by one word: possibilities. Only in America do we believe anything is possible.
True.
Like a kid with a
Well, no, you know what? I don't know about that. I ain't been nowhere else.
Sitting behind this desk.
It's a bold claim, is all I'm saying.
That's the magic of America. It's all around us. Upstairs in the residence of the White House, I've walked by a painting of the Statue of Liberty I don't know how many times. In the painting, there's several workers climbing on the outstretched arm of the statue that holds the torch. It reminds me every day I pass it of the story and soul of our nation and the power of the American people. There's a story of a veteran. This is a veteran, a son of an immigrant, whose job was to climb that torch.
Hold up, did I watch the same video twice?
So rays of light could reach out as far as possible.
We watched the same video
He was known
twice?
as the keeper of the flame.
I'm sorry, I didn't know
The
that.
Statue of Liberty, quote, speaks a silent universal language, one of hope, that anyone who seeks and speaks freedom can understand. Yes, we sway back and forth to withstand the fury of the storm, to stand the test of time.
Yeah.
A constant struggle.
Huh.
Constant struggle.
Weird.
A short distance between peril and possibility. But what I believe is the America of our dreams is always closer than we think. It's up to us to make our dreams come true. Let me close by stating my gratitude to so many people. To the members of my administration.
Oh, he's giving shout
as well as
outs.
public service and first responders across the
All
country.
right, I can stop right there because now he's going to give a bunch of shout outs. Yeah, I want to give it up for people in India and Iowa and all my peoples down on the block, man, and 5th and 17th, man. You don't even know how we get down, Big Joe in the building, baby. Like, I don't need to hear the shouts, Joe. But here's the thing. All right, I'm gonna bring it back, okay? I'm gonna bring it back. I'm not going to bring back the video because I just realized that we saw the same video. It feels like twice. I could have sworn he said the story about the Statue of Liberty like before, right? I don't know, man. Joe Biden confuses me at times. He seems like he's a little confused as well. But the main thing is, how did I play the video twice? I didn't play the video twice. You know who played the video twice? ABC News did. They had me thinking that Joe was able to handle 15 to 20 minutes of talking nonstop without looking like he was going to pass out. They lied to me. I really thought he did that much time. And then I realized, no, I remember the story about the swaying, the hell is it? The Statue of Liberty. And so here we are, okay? Because that's Joe's final thing. The next time you see something politically from Joe Biden, it'll probably be his funeral. I don't know. But at this point, he has basically told us, watch out for AI, watch out for Trump, watch out for Musk, watch out for everybody but him and those that have been in power doing all this goofy shit for all this time. I get it now. I get why people would want to jump behind somebody that says, you know, we're going to break this whole thing down and start it over again. Because it's obvious, guys. You see what I'm saying? It's obvious what's going on. And it's obvious that Joe Biden been doing it. Just like April said in the chat, these guys only get like $200,000 as a salary, but they're millionaires. So where's that all that extra money coming from? And nobody ever questions that. So you're not going to tell me millionaires need to pay more because, Joe, you need to pay more. Your family needs to pay more. That's who you're talking about. You're not talking about me. And the number of millionaires and billionaires in the country is not very many. Most people are just regular folks in that, 400,000 or below bracket. That's most people. I'd say, just giving a guess, probably 85% of America makes, especially individuals, $400,000 or less in a year. That's at least 80%, right? So who is he talking about got to pay more? Him. His folks. Hillary Clinton and them. All of them. So, you know what, Joe? You can miss me with that, bro. You can miss me with all of that. Look out for these people. Look out for them people. No. Look out for you and what's already been going on. And let's hope that that doesn't continue. And let's also not let Elon Musk and them get out of line. Elon is not exempt from the smoke. Trump is not exempt from the smoke. Everybody can get the smoke. Everybody. And so I do have to get ready to get out of here in a couple of minutes. But thank you, April May, for stopping in the chat. Thanks, Zora, for stopping in the chat. Everybody that came in with us today. Like I said, I was trying something new. So if you caught me on TikTok or Facebook or any of these other things, I'm sorry I couldn't see all the chats. It's 5 different chat windows. It's a lot to manage at this point. But all I wanted to do was make sure that I could at least talk to you, not glitch out, and that the sound was at least good. And if that happened, then I've purged the BS for the day. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, be on the lookout for what happens in the next week or two. There's been a lot of talk about what they're going to be doing on day one. Trump is going to be pissing everybody off starting next week. And I'm here for it. I want to see what's going to happen, who's going to say what, and we can discuss that and move forward. Like I said, my goal is to help everybody navigate this thing. We're going to navigate it and we're going to stay out of jail. Those are two things we're going to do. And that's right, Lisa. I see what you're saying over here. If you're not a multimillionaire, you're getting shafted. You are. And we all know that. That's why I'm saying we need to come together, man. We all live here. We all live here. If you're making less than $500,000 a year, life is not, it's not like, I mean, yeah, you could be comfortable, but at the drop of a freaking dime, everything could change. And all of a sudden you lose the house, you lose everything. Even with making that kind of money. So nonetheless, guys, I think that's my time for the day. Yes, actually it is. I got to get out of here. But if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow. Probably I'm going to do a call-in show soon. But I had to make sure that all these streams would work at the same time. So everybody that caught us on the alternate streams on Facebook and X, thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody that was on my vertical feed on the shorts thing, hey, there was about 30,000 of y'all. Hope the likes got there as well. Thank y'all for coming in. And thank everybody else for purging the BS. Because if you let the BS sit up inside of you for too long, it permeates and you will lose your mind. And a lost mind is a loss in time. And that, my friends, is the bullshit.